Hi everyone, Teresa A. here from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. It's my privilege to introduce you to Michael Baez today. How you doing, Michael?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm excited too to have you. So I'm
Thank
going to
you.
read you a quick biography and then we're going to come back to you, okay?
Wonderful.
So Michael Baez has been working in the entertainment industry for almost 2 decades. He has written, produced, and directed 7 short and feature-length films in nearly 300 television commercials for Cablevision and Time Warner Cable. As well, directed and produced Nude in the New York by Janisha Rios, the award-winning one-woman show that has received critical acclaim on both the last and East and West Coast. So
Yes.
we're going to
Yes.
go through it all.
Great.
Michael, you've really established yourself, so well done. Let's talk about how you got started and what you had to overcome to get to this point.
Sure, thank you. Yes, I think how I got started was initially wanting to be an actor. Probably when I was around maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old. There used to be a show on TV called Different Strokes, and I was inspired by Gary Coleman. So he's a little guy, I'm a little guy. I can do that. I want to be in TV. And I told my mom, and as wonderfully and supportive as she's always been, she signed me up for some classes at the local YMCA. I started to take dance classes and singing classes. And she started to get there was a newspaper for the entertainment industry called Backstage. So she would buy the Backstage every week and go through it and find the castings and auditions in the local area and take me to them. And I would get pulled out of school. So I was excited about that. I got to leave school early. And then the teachers would be excited for me and my classmates would be excited. Did I get the part? How was it? Things like that. So
Sure.
it really got me jazzed up as a little kid. But after a few years of doing that, I did some NYU student films for their thesis projects, little short films. And it really is really cool because since they were independent, small short films, I was working very closely with every department, the makeup, the wardrobe, the director of photography, the director. So I got a chance to see everything on a much smaller scale and really take it all in. And I think that's what started to plant the seeds of more as a filmmaker as opposed to being an actor. And then my mom says that, I don't remember this, but she says that she would bring me to a lot of auditions and there were a few that were in Spanish. And I didn't speak Spanish fluently, though my background is being Puerto Rican. My family's from Puerto Rico. I
Sure.
was born in New York. And it was just like, okay, she felt okay, if we get him into Spanish classes, he'll have a better chance. So when I went to junior high school, then I started to take Spanish classes and try to really learn. But then at that point, I started to sway away from the entertainment industry and then rediscovered martial arts. And my dad had introduced me to martial arts when I was younger. And I fell in love with martial arts. My mom enrolled me in the local boys club and I started taking karate classes and with my brother, and we did it for many years. For over 10 years, I was in the martial arts, became an instructor, got my black belt, got my second degree black belt, and was
Wow.
all in. Yeah, I was all in on martial arts, but the film bug was still in the back of my mind. And then there was an open call audition in a local newspaper in New York for a movie called Carlito's Way, which was starring Chino and
Yeah.
Sean Penn. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I got cast in that as a background, as an extra.
Sure.
But while I was on that set, I realized I don't want to be an actor anymore. I want to be the director. Because I saw that Brian De Palma was calling all the shots. He was in charge. I was like, oh, that's a better position to be in than to be an actor in the background. And
Yeah.
that was where I decided the light bulb moment of I want to be a director instead. And then that's how the whole journey just completely changed.
That's fantastic. What an
Yeah.
opportunity. I want to just circle back a little bit.
Yeah,
Kudos to
please.
your mom for
Yeah, yeah,
helping.
wonderful. My mom's great.
I hear so many stories of families who are strong
Yeah,
and supportive
yeah,
of their children and
yeah.
each other, and I just love hearing that. So kudos to
Yes. Yeah,
want
my
to make
mom is
sure.
wonderful. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for acknowledging her. She's been
Yeah.
such a wonderful person to this day. She's flying out. We're screening the movie, my current movie. We're screening in Italy this weekend, and she's flying to Italy. We screened it in Mexico. She flew to Mexico. She came to Vegas when we screened it over there. So she's always has been and still to this day, years later, has been very supportive. And my dad as well. My dad has been always been encouraging and supportive. He really, I would say, planted the seeds for me in the martial arts. And then my mom just took it from there and got us involved in a local school. And then same thing with the entertainment industry. My mom has really been supportive the whole way. My dad as well. I have a really wonderful family.
That's fantastic. And that I think in anything that you're doing, when you're a young person, up and coming, family support is number one. And sometimes
Yes.
parents may not necessarily agree with the route, but when
Yeah.
they're supportive and they're there, at least
Yeah.
the person can figure it out for themselves. Well done.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
glad you
for
shared.
sure. Yeah, definitely. And I've gone through so many different paths. And at one point I was in college. I was in John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York,
Okay.
thinking I was going to become a forensic psychologist. And at some point, I think in my third year, I think I maybe had one more year to go. I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to get back into films. I left college and my parents were very supportive, as I said. And I went to the New York Film Academy. And that's where I actually learned like how to make a film, how to write, how to direct, how to shoot, how to edit. And again, they were just by my side the whole time.
That's fantastic. Honestly,
Yes.
that's terrific. So,
Yes. Yes.
Michael, let's come to the current now. Actually, tell us what I know you've done a few movies. What can you
Yes.
tell us some of the names that are where they're streaming and what you have going on in the
Sure.
past so that people can look it up and then we'll talk about what's happening today.
Sure. Most of my short films are on YouTube. So if people just look up the name of the short film and then put my name, it'll pop up. If you put just the name of the film, there's so many variations of that, it
Sure.
won't show up. If you put that, one of them is called Racket, RACKET, and it's basically a story of a young girl who decides she wants to become a tennis player. She lives in the Bronx, which is where I grew up, and it's based on a true story. There was a young girl who my son's mom, we're not together anymore, but she was an acting teacher at the time, and she was working with inner school kids, inner city kids, teaching them performance, acting, and writing. And there was one little girl named Patricia who was just incredible, and she performed on stage, blew me away, and we became friends. We became friends with her mom and her family. We really got to know them, and I just felt like there's something. This girl's got something. She's just so authentic. She's so raw. She's very talented naturally. This is her first time doing acting. And then a few years later, we moved to California, but we stayed in contact with her. We took her in as like a little sister. And I was visiting her in New York, and now she was, I think, 13 or 14 at the time. I met her when she was maybe 9, and she told me she started playing tennis. And I was like, what? This girl who lived in the projects in the Bronx in a not so good area, the fact that she was playing tennis, I think, how cool is this? And then that
Yeah.
start sparked this whole idea for this story. Then my best friend, who's also an actor, writer, and filmmaker, he was playing tennis also. So I was like, okay, it would be cool if these two personalities, because she's a Puerto Rican girl from the Bronx, he's a Bulgarian guy from Brooklyn. What if they meet? And so that's what Racket is about. So people could look it up. It's on YouTube. You can look it up under my name, Racket, and you'll find that. And then another one called Sweet Tooth also is on Netflix. I'm sorry, on YouTube, and you can look that up under my name, Sweet Tooth. It's a young kids martial art movie because my background, as I said, was martial arts also. So we have a little martial arts there. But one film that people can see that's a feature-length film is called A Wonderful Christmas. Feliz Navidad. It has both names. So A
Okay.
Wonderful Christmas, Feliz Navidad. And that's a really nice kids' Christmas movie. It's great to watch during the holidays. My son's mom, Janisha Rios, she wrote it. I directed it. It got distributed by Lionsgate. Went to DVD on Blockbusters to show you how long ago that was when
Wow,
Blockbuster was
that's
still
dated,
around.
isn't it?
Exactly. So that one, it was really nice. That was like my second feature film. My first feature
Wow.
film I did while in film school, but that was like really low budget, just figuring it out. But my second feature film got distributed by Lionsgate, and then now the third one that I'm working on now, that one got distributed, and that one will be out on Amazon and on Fandango at home on August 8th, and that one's called De La Cruz. De La
Oh,
Cruz.
oh,
Yeah,
very good.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
up and coming still.
That's coming up. Yeah, yeah. Just in less than a month and a half, it'll be out. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Was now I know people
yeah,
thank you for telling us where we can find
yeah,
it. Is there
yeah.
trailers for all of this? Is it
Yeah, yeah. The trailer will officially be releasing it probably July 1st. However, if people go onto the website, it's there. People can watch it. It's delacruzthemovie.com. That's where people can go onto the website and then you can see the trailer there. But we'll be putting it on social media probably around July 1st. We're just trying to time it to give it enough time where it doesn't feel old and stale by the time the movie comes out. Like sometimes I go to the movies and they'll start trailers 6 months in
yeah, yeah,
advance. I'm like, oh my God, 6 months from now. Every time I go to a movie, they're showing that same
yeah,
trailer. I
yeah.
get tired of it. But yeah, so probably around July 1st, we'll be officially releasing it publicly on social media. But for now, people can definitely go see it on the website.
Okay, that's perfect. And
Yeah.
I know that so you're doing a lot of work. You got a lot of projects.
Yeah.
So is
Yes.
this your full-time life now? Is
Yeah,
that where you're
yes
at?
and no. Yes and no. Like mentally, it's my full time, but I do teach yoga here in California,
Oh, okay.
which is great. It's so great because the stress and anxiety of dealing with releasing a movie and the marketing and promoting and constant fundraising, like it never ends. I'm constantly raising money because at every turn is, oh, we need money for this. Oh, we need money for that. So it's just never ending. Dealing with all that, like having yoga and being able to go and teach yoga 4 days a week and just fully be present and share share and give. It really is, it's been the perfect balance for me, and it's just been so helpful.
Perfect. Is your yoga class, do you teach the yoga classes then?
Yeah, yeah, I teach. I teach. Yeah, I'm a yoga teacher. I teach 4 days a week at three different hot yoga studios here in California.
Hot yoga.
And
Okay.
yeah, hot yoga, yeah, which is not my favorite initially. Like I wasn't one to take hot yoga classes personally. I would just take regular yoga classes
Right.
because I just didn't like being soaking wet and the sweat. And I was just like, oh, it just feels gross. But now teaching it, it's grown on me. Now I enjoy it, and now I can see why people get so obsessed with it because of the constant sweat. And ultimately, you're cleansing, you're just
Yeah.
cleansing and
Yeah.
detoxifying. So I totally get it. I do see a lot of the hot yogis, they have a great complexion, their skin glows. Mine isn't there quite yet, but we're working on
You're looking
it.
just fine, Michael.
Thank you,
Now,
thank
do you
you.
also do online with your yoga or is it just,
We had it before, especially during the pandemic. We were offering online classes. They didn't really take off, and personally, I'm not a fan of like online yoga
okay.
classes because I really like the experience of being in the room, being with the students, physically being able to adjust them if they need proper form and alignment. I'm very hands-on, and I like that approach to it. And I really go by the energy of the room. Like I get inspired by who's in class that day. Sometimes you'll have beginners, so I have to keep it a little bit more gentle, more slower. And sometimes you have more advanced students. So I just go full out. Like today, I just taught before I just raced over here to do this interview. I taught a class at a studio. It's called Oxygen. Oxygen is where the studio where I was teaching at.
Oh, wonderful.
And that class had some really strong people. So we were doing headstands and forearm stands and handstands, like really harder poses, crow pose. So it's good. It really, again, it gives me a place to like focus my energy in a way of service. And I always do the class with my students. I do it too. So it has keeps me physically active and keeps
Yeah.
me in that state of peace and relaxation during all the chaos of making a movie.
Now, where are you located? Tell us where
I'm
you're.
in California. Yeah,
You are in
yeah,
California.
I'm in Ventura. In Ventura, yes. I teach at Porter Ranch. I
Oh,
teach in
nice.
Simi Valley. I teach in Agora Hills. Yeah, I teach at three different studios.
Beautiful. Now, let's talk about where you're going.
Nice.
Where do
Yeah.
you see yourself in 5 years, Michael? What's the
Wow.
plan?
I wrote three scripts. So De La Cruz, the movie that we're currently releasing on Amazon, that film is actually now part of a trilogy. So I wrote three screenplays. So we're following the story of Yoli De La Cruz on her journey of dealing with life and horrible situations she deals with and challenges she overcomes. I like to define it. She goes from being a victim to becoming a warrior.
Oh,
That's her journey. So we've been just really focusing on that story right now. But I have many other scripts written. My goal ultimately is because it takes so long to make a movie. It's like each movie takes years to raise money. We shot my movie in 16 days, which is a miracle. Like usually you have 30 days, 2 months, 3 months. Big Hollywood productions can have 6 months, a year. We shot in 16 days, which is so difficult
excellent.
and
Yeah.
challenging, but
Yeah.
we did it. And then editing and post-production, music, all that stuff. It takes time. But now that I feel like I have my team, like I have my post-production team, now I know how to edit. I've always known how to edit, but I've been more active in editing my own stuff lately. And scripts are written. I'm like, my goal ultimately is to be able to do two projects per year, as opposed to one project every 2 years,
Oh,
which is
okay.
what
I get that.
what it yeah what it takes on average between like raising the money, shooting it,
Sure.
editing it, releasing it. It takes about 2 years on average for most people. But I want to ultimately at least shoot two projects per year, then release them as they go. And there's no rush to release them, but definitely at least shoot two movies per year. That's my goal. So within 5 years, I just want to finish the trilogy that I've done, and then go on to the next few screenplays that I've written. And they're all in the supernatural, thriller, drama genre. I really like playing in that genre. I love scary movies, for lack of a better word, but more like supernatural, thriller, suspense. Not really like horror, gory slasher. I'm not at that. I understand that there's an audience for that, but I like movies like The Sixth Sense, the movies
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
That's
others. Yeah, movies that have a spiritual message and they're a little bit scary, but they're saying something, and that's the type of movies I want to write.
That's great. Listen,
Yeah.
you're very talented. I understand
Thank
that.
you.
Now,
Thank you.
let's say, Michael, somebody
Yeah.
was, and you've gone come a little ways, and you're pretty
Yeah.
successful. Could you
Yeah.
give maybe some new people coming up in the industry some hints or ideas that you might have that might help them along the way?
Oh, absolutely. For first and foremost, I'd say for actors and then for directors, it's two different, and
Sure.
sometimes they cross over, but
Sure.
I would say for actors, like just auditioning as much as possible, like getting out there and just auditioning as much as possible. Because sometimes, and I've heard a lot of actors say this, like established actors say this, start to treat the audition like the performance. Because sometimes that might be all you get for months or years before you get cast on a big major project or a small project. So start to take it that serious. Do the work, study, memorize your lines. Actors that have blown me away have always been actors that come into the room prepared. They memorize the script. They don't really need to be reading the script because what happens is when you're reading a script, your attention is on the paper. It's not on the director or your scene partner or the camera, right? Your attention is here. So I think that's limiting is to be dependent on the script. So I would say try your best to memorize or at least put it out of frame where you can see it and you need to glance at it. That's fine. And maybe big giant cue cards, big,
Yeah.
huge boards with the lines. If that's necessary, then do that. But I think it's important to come prepared, come memorize, and bring something to the character that's unique. Like my best friend, his name is Cristo. I'll never forget he was auditioning for a role and the role dealt with the partner was a painter. So my friend Cristo, I didn't know him at the time. He comes in, he does his performance, and then just magically takes out a paintbrush and he starts to use the paintbrush in the scene in speaking to the other character because the other character was a painter. And it was brilliant because it was like he brought a prop that was authentic and organic to the scene. And it was like, okay, we were shooting this movie and he had that prop, that would make sense. So I think just bringing something special to the audition really goes a long way. So that would be my advice for actors. And my advice for filmmakers, whether it be directors, writers, is to just go. Don't wait. I waited. I've done a lot in my time, but like with this particular project we just finished right now, I sat on it for a while. I wrote the first script in 1997 and then finished it in 1999 and then didn't do anything with it till
Oh,
2018. So there was all this time of having in the back of my mind, like one day, one day, one day. And I was like, you know what? If I keep waiting for other people to do it, it's not going to happen. So I gathered a small crew, got a little camera. And nowadays, people's iPhones or whatever phones like are shooting in HD 4K. Like you
that's
have enough
crazy, isn't it?
quality. Yeah, you have enough quality on your phone to shoot a movie. Never mind having to go get an expensive camera. If you have no other choices, you have your phone. And there's editing software you could do on your phone. I edit on my laptop, but there's software you can use on your phone, on your laptop. So it just eliminated a lot of the expenses, which in turn eliminates a lot of the excuses because a lot of the excuses, oh, I don't have
Right.
the money, I don't have a camera, I don't have editing software. Now you can get all of that so much more affordable than ever before. So I would say just start shooting short films, commercials. I shot about 300 commercials over 20 years, and that was my boot camp. Though I went to the New York Film Academy and I learned like the fundamentals of writing, directing, shooting, editing, but doing 300 commercials over 20 years, that was my boot camp. That's where I really got a chance to learn how to deal with clients, how to audition actors, everything from A to Z, delivering the project, having it broadcast on TV. Like that was really a huge eye-opening experience that really taught me so much. So I would tell people just go and start shooting. Shoot your short film, shoot your feature film. There's tons of film festivals out there. You can submit to film festivals. We were very fortunate to play at the Chinese Theater here in California.
Oh,
We played
nice.
at yeah, we played at a beautiful theater in Las Vegas. We just played in Mexico in Guadalajara at this beautiful theater. Like there's theaters out there that these film festivals are booking and you can actually see your movie on a big screen, which is every
Yeah.
filmmaker's dream. So that would be my advice to actors and to filmmakers.
That was very good to stretch that
Yeah.
out there. I think
Yes.
today you are right there with the AI, with cameras, with
Yes.
phones, with the
Yes.
technology is
Yes.
unbelievable. It's super,
Yes.
it's just so far
Yes.
advanced now.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
seeing such talent out there that, and
Yes.
yes, it makes it more competitive, I think.
Yes.
That's just my
Yes.
opinion.
Yes.
But boy, there's a lot of talent out there. And I think
Yeah.
you are right. We can procrastinate, talk ourselves out of doing something instead
Yes.
of just going for it and seeing what happens.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Are a
Look at
lot
even
of,
what we're doing. With the fact that you're doing a podcast, you're
yeah,
doing it yourself, like that just goes to show, like the technology is at our fingertips now.
it is. And here's the thing too, Michael, we
Mhm.
talked
Mhm.
earlier, promoting and doing things,
Yes.
collaborating together.
Yes.
You're doing
Yes.
some movies. I want to help you get
Thank
to where
you.
you want to be. And
Thank you.
that's that, but the world is opened up to that now, isn't it?
Yes.
On
Yeah,
YouTube,
absolutely.
LinkedIn, all the
Yes.
social media, you can do this
Yes.
sort of thing.
Yes. No, it blows my mind. The fact that like my 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 visual effects color correction guy is in Mexico. He was working on the movie with me for a few months. My composer was in Puerto Rico. He was working on it for a few months with me. My sound mixer is here in California. And I'm like, all of us are working in different parts of the world on the movie. And it just blew me away that like, you would have to spend millions of dollars before to go fly,
That's right.
stay with them, book studio sessions. Everyone's working in their homes, on their laptops, on their computers, on their phones. It's like the world has completely changed where it's so much easier now to communicate, to get your message out there, to create your network of people to support your industry. In my case, is film with my team now, my post-production team. So it's just amazing what we're able to do. I went to another country. I'm born and raised here in the US. I'm born and raised in New York. I live in California. I went to Mexico with zero contacts. I didn't know anybody and spent 3 years basically meeting with crews, location scouting, holding auditions, table reads of the script, just getting the ball rolling. And it took me 3 years, but then finally I was able to shoot the entire movie and it's done. And now it's coming out on Amazon in a couple of weeks. So it just goes to show it's possible. It's totally possible.
So proud of you, Michael. Honestly,
Thank you.
so proud of you. And
Appreciate it.
your whole community of people. I had the pleasure of Nicole Bowles was on the
Yeah,
show and
yeah. Oh,
different
wonderful.
actors. Oh, so many on here. I'm so proud of all of you. It's
Uh,
amazing to me the hard work that you're doing, but the passion and I can see it in your smile and
yeah,
your
yeah.
heart. It's just you put
Thank you.
everything into it, and that's
Yes,
what's making
yes,
it go. You made the right
yes.
decision, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you. In yoga, we call it dharma, and dharma means purpose. It's like when you're following your purpose, like why are you here? What is your calling? What is your passion? What do you love to do that you can do and time disappears? What do you do
Yeah.
that it's not about the money? Like you just do it for the love of it. That's your dharma. That's your purpose. And I think that once one finds their purpose, then they get lit up. You look at people who have the 9 to 5 job, they're not pursuing their dreams, they're not pursuing their passions, they get into a state of the cycle and it could lead to depression and when stress and
Yeah.
anxiety. But it's important when we find our purpose and we just go for it 100%. It's amazing.
Oh, excellent advice, Michael. Honestly, what
Yeah.
a nice man you are. Truly,
Oh,
it's very
thank you.
nice. And no wonder you're successful. You're doing
Thank
what you
you.
love too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how
Yeah.
can we help you, Michael? We want to be able to promote you here.
Sure.
You have a YouTube channel, so I'm going to make sure that's on here. What
Yes,
is the
yes.
best place if somebody wanted to reach out and
Sure.
maybe help with the shows or
Sure.
financially, or even if they want
Yeah.
to audition?
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
best place to get you?
Yeah, everything is right now is De La Cruz the movie. Everything is there. So delacruzthemovie.com is the website. They can go there. They can email me from there. The trailer is there. Links to our social media is there, or at De La Cruz the movie on Instagram as well. And there's links. So if you just follow that, and that's the name of the movie, De La Cruz. So De
Yep.
La Cruz the movie, that'll take you to everyone. People could reach me again through email and everything like that. And yeah, I'm always accessible. I respond to everybody. We are looking for everything. We're looking for investors for part two and part three. We're looking for actors for part two and part three, crew members. So anybody who wants to come on board, we definitely will support. And definitely people can mostly support right now on August 8th when it comes out on Amazon and Fandango at Home. That's another platform, Fandango at Home and Amazon. It'll come out there August 8th. If people just buy it and then give it a nice review on Rotten Tomatoes or Google or anywhere else, that all that helps. It all helps to spread the word.
That's good to know. I don't think anyone's ever mentioned that. I
Yeah.
do reviews. I
Yeah. Oh,
definitely
good.
have. They get promoted, but thank you,
Yeah.
Michael, because I wouldn't
Yeah.
have thought of that. So when people go on, they can give a nice review about what they saw. That's
Yeah.
really good
It's
because you
really
want to help
important.
people.
Yeah, it's really important because once the algorithm, the famous algorithm, detects that a lot of people are starting to review it, it then continues to spread and promote it. It all works in conjunction. The reviews definitely help to spread the word, to get the word out, which then in turn will get more people to watch it. So it all works together.
That's fantastic. Honestly,
Yeah,
Michael, good job.
yeah.
Now,
Thank you.
I know you have the one project you're working on right now, and
Yes,
I know you're
yes.
doing a few things. My next question is,
Yeah,
as you come, I know you said in August you've got a
yes,
big project coming out.
yes.
Would you mind maybe perhaps coming back before that comes out, or let
Yeah,
us know at
sure.
least it's coming out, and perhaps we can remind people and promote it again? Would
Yeah,
that be all
no,
right?
absolutely. That would be wonderful. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, because right now, you know exactly that. Like, August 8th is so many weeks away. I think it's like
Yeah,
seven
but
weeks, 6 weeks away. So yeah, I would love to come back and as we get closer and spread the word again.
oh, that would be great. So just say,
Yeah.
Teresa, this is coming up. We're almost there. I'm going to come back on your
Okay.
show. We'll book it. And guess what? We can let everyone know. And boy, I'm happy to promote you too that way, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Where are you? Where are you located?
I'm in Canada.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I
That's
work, don't worry, I
great.
work with lots all over Cali. I have
I
Cali, we
love
call
it.
it Cali.
Yeah, yeah, Cali, of course. Yeah, we all say that.
And
Yeah, no, that's great.
and
Very cool.
Iceland and UK and
Wow.
Australia.
See, that
I'm in
I love it.
everybody's TV.
I love it. I love it. No, that's great.
So,
That's exactly what we're talking about here. How we can go around the world now and
right?
with this
And
technology.
I
Yeah.
understand auditions now even are done
Yeah.
video, really.
Yeah, yeah, that was a huge game changer for a lot of actors because a
Yeah.
lot of actors who couldn't physically go to wherever they were holding the audition can now submit, they call them self-tapes. They could submit a self-tape and then there you go. For our film, before we started shooting, we had 400 submissions for the lead role. 400 women submitted because we put the word out there and it
Sure,
spread. And I was like, oh my God. And we watched them all because some of them were just a photo, a
sure,
headshot. Some of
sure.
them had a reel. Some of them actually submitted a scene. But we watched all of them and we found our girl. We found our girl in person. She came to an audition in
Oh,
Guadalajara,
okay.
Mexico.
Which is
Even though,
probably, yeah, that's good too. But
yeah,
I do
yeah.
know with technology, you're even able to do that. And I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
if you're directing too, you're able to do a lot. As you said, you've got people from different areas that are working
Yes.
together on the same movie in different
Yes.
countries. So that
Yes.
I know the
Yes.
world has changed so much. And this is
Yeah.
the best time, I think, honestly, Michael, for you to pursue those dreams and keep going. You're going to be a
I
huge,
agree.
you're already huge and you're going to be just
Thank you.
amazing. So
Thank you.
whatever we
Thank
can
you.
do to help you here on Success Diaries, I'm happy to do that. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure today to have you on, Michael. So everyone,
Thank
this is
you.
Michael Baez. Do go over to his YouTube channels. I'll make sure everything's on here. I'm thinking you're probably on IMDb as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep,
Yeah, so
yep,
you make
yep,
sure I get
yep.
all those links and
Okay.
I'll make sure they're here in the show notes.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Michael. So to everyone else, this is Teresa Aker from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. I hope you're all having a great day. Do subscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate that. Go over and subscribe to Michael's and watch all of his wonderful trailers. Have a great day, and I look forward to talking to y'all soon. Bye-bye.